What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster with our new park. So I had this next part pretty much planned out, and what we're going to be doing here is creating like a really neat, cool kind of restaurant. And yeah, it's going to be kind of neat and it's kind of special, and it turned out pretty good, pretty well. I mean, again, my modular building skills aren't the greatest, but my goal is to try and make the buildings kind of unique shapes and not just squares. So I thought it was pretty good for a I thought it was a pretty good shaped building for a restaurant. So it works pretty nice, and I end up putting some pathway on the inside as well to kind of give it a inside feel as well. That's something I hope we get eventually, is some walk-in restaurants or something that we can do to help with something like that, and I think that'd be kind of cool. So I do end up putting a chief beef stall in here, which will serve as the restaurant itself, because it's all we really have right now. So yeah, it works out just fine. But anyways, this restaurant was pretty well constructed, and the park's actually looking very nice. I think I've recorded 6 parts at this point I'm recording this, and I can say that I think it's turned out even better than the last park so far. And I just feel like every time I start a new park that it just improves every single time. And as for my modular building skills, they're still not the greatest, but I'll get there someday, hopefully. But hopefully my skills and building buildings will improve later on, and hopefully we'll just see about that. I just kind of wish they had more different types of roofs. That way we didn't have to do as much of, customization ourselves just to create different kind of roofs in a way. So we don't have to have the same type of roof the entire time. And that's kind of where I'm at this point, is I do use the same roof every time. That is the only issue with these parks, is that all the buildings look the same. And hopefully in Alpha 3 we'll get a lot more building pieces as well. Because, I'm not great at experimenting with roofs themselves, and it doesn't work out very well. So I usually just use the in-game stuff most of the time. I experiment sometimes, off and on, just to get some experience, but overall it doesn't work out very well. So over here we kind of have this covered outdoor place where people can sit down and eat for the restaurant, which will be kind of cool. Obviously not going to be interactive in real life, but it gets that nice look for it anyways. So I really wanted to go all out on this restaurant and actually put a lot of effort into it, and it actually turned out quite nicely, better than I thought it would. So anyways, I was going to put a second floor here, but then I realized I wasn't actually going to make the building as tall, so I do end up deleting this top part in the end for that, because I was like, wait a minute, this building's not going to be that tall, so this is just going to be a roof instead afterwards. So, and it took me a little while to actually realize that, and I should have made more room for the roof, because the doorway itself is kind of small as well. And I do kind of design the inside as well. Might be kind of a mistake since we won't really see the inside that much, but that's going to be that. Just beeped at me. Anyways, so this little outdoor parts, I had to come up with something for some tables and chairs, and the best thing that I could always come up with that I actually saw that in Silverette's tricks, tips, and stuff was to use like the barrels and stuff. Okay, I'm silencing my phone now because it's starting to get annoying. I hate being in group chats. Like I can't stand being in group chats because my phone's constantly going off. But anyways, I like to use these concrete parts as some stairs. They work quite nicely. And then if you use the little slanted wall, it works really nicely with the sides of them to cover it up and make it look really nice. But then, you know, you gotta have some handrails, so did some nice handrails here with the, you know, wooden fence that we do have. And yeah, this is the main section of that, and this is where I actually get into the tables. I like to use these statues as the tables, and then use the barrels kind of as some chairs. Not really the way this place is themed, but I don't really have anything to go off of right now for the stuff like that. So, and then gosh, then we make this pathway all the way around as well to kind of serve as the one thing about this park is it might be kind of confusing to guests, because there's going to be pathways kind of literally going everywhere. And one thing I wanted to do is make sure I had a lot of lamps in here as well for the, park, and in the park in general, lamps. That way the park's really lit up at night, and when it might look really cool at night, because I do plan on doing some cool spotlights for some of the rides and buildings to make them really stick out at night and really look nice. So I knew I had to put another doorway here for, obviously, since there's a doorway on the other side of the wall. That kind of matches up there. And I kind of probably went a little bit too in detail on the inside of this building, but you know, the peeps have to have something to look at while they try and eat and stuff like that. So it looks like in the next alpha we'll probably most likely be getting some path elements, so we'll be getting more probably more lamps and benches and trash cans that peeps or that guests will actually use, which is nice. I almost said peeps, but we're past that in these games. So, anyways, and now to make the building look great, trees and plants and flowers, of course. That's what always makes these look good, I suppose. And you see a lot. I probably completely overdo it in all these videos, and the planting and the, because you know I have a great plant. It's just how I plan. No pun intended. But planting. You know, some great planting, because it was all planned. Yeah, never mind. You probably didn't even get that because it was so bad. But anyways, then I realized, you know, I had this nice open spot, and I was like, why not put in the center a nice carousel? Because I thought it would work really well, and I didn't plan on putting a ride here, but it actually would fit quite nicely, I thought, in the placement of this. So a carousel is what ended up being here. And it's kind of cool, of a cool centerpiece when you're looking down the main way of the entrance and stuff. It's kind of cool because you get that, you know, that carousel right in the middle, down towards it, which is kind of neat. And this is one thing, you know, you can't place these plants for some reason right next to the ride, but you could do it. I couldn't do it right there, but I could do it everywhere else, which was kind of strange. Like that was the only spot it wouldn't let me place stuff. And it was kind of strange. So I decided to get as best as I could with these trees, because they seemed to work out for the most part, and they actually did work out. And I wanted to make sure the carousel was nice and gorgeous, so I wanted to make sure there was a lot of plants and stuff going around it to give it a really cool, you know, just a nice pretty feel with plants and stuff like that, and foliage and trees. And the queue line turned out pretty well, I thought, as well, with all the plants and stuff at the same time. And you know, I finally found a way to make it the best it could possibly be with all this foliage and stuff. So it turns out quite nice. And I have to say that this park has turned out so brilliantly so far. because I just had a little bit more planned beforehand. You know, I plan on what I'm going to do before each episode. And that's actually, I think, really helped with the park's development and making it look a lot better. Because before I record, I kind of sit there for a while planning out the next part of the park. Like, what am I going to do in this episode? What am I going to accomplish in this episode? And where am I going to expand in this episode? So pretty much that's kind of where it went to. So that's the carousel, and it looks quite pretty, I thought. And next to the restaurant itself, the restaurant looks pretty good. I thought it was probably one of my favorite buildings I've actually made. Or actually made. I didn't put many detailing in it, so that's kind of a downside. And to plan a little bit, I also like to put the terrain, or change the terrain to sand around the area I'm going to be constructing in, because I think it kind of looks cool for planning wise and stuff like that, and it looks more like a construction site, like I'm actually building something at the moment, which is actually kind of cool. So, again, I wanted to make sure there was a lot of lamps, because I do, when I get to the cinematic video of this, which is a little bit quite down the road, but I want to make sure that there's a nighttime stuff as well that will look really cool, and, you know, just to have the park lit up nicely and stuff like that, and have spotlights everywhere when we do get around to that. We'll see where that takes us. But at the moment, we're just mainly focused on getting the park done, or getting the park going and finished. So I still haven't figured out all the coasters that are going to be going in here. I know one of them because it's already built. I think I start construction on it in part 3 or 4. I can't remember. I want to say it's part 3, but I can't exactly remember. The first coaster is actually going to be a B&M floorless coaster. Something that I haven't really had, so I decided to go ahead and go with it. And it's a nice basic coaster to have in the park, and it actually fit it pretty well. There was a lot of trial and error getting its layout done, and I might actually tweak it a little bit more before I completely finish that area. But that's looking down the future, and as of right now in this video, there's, you know, so much plants going around, but it just fills the area nicely, I think, and works well, I think, you know, just with it, you know. Ow. But, anyways, that's it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thanks, and have a great day, even cooler tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.